everyone, Esther and Tide here with a tutorial that I think you are going to find very useful and very awesome. So I've been thinking a lot about New Age materials, things like crystal formations and essential oils that help a lot with expanding consciousness and expanding what our body and what our mind are capable of in radical ways through just the mind and the object communicating with one another. And so this is something that I really think has expanded my practice a lot as a hyperpolyphasic sleeper and as a biohacker. But it's also something that's really expensive and also requires a lot of different variety to get a full system going. It's not like you want to just have one piece of rose quartz and a little bit of lavender essential oil and call that good, because it's not going to work in most situations. These are things that have very specific causes and treat very specific things and let you achieve new layers of reality based on the way that you're using them. So my problem with this is that, first of all, companies are getting rich off of selling us things that are from the earth to begin with. I think that that's weird that they should be able to sell natural objects, but also it's something that's very expensive for budget-conscious people to try to have a good and robust practice. And a final thing is that this is a lot of physical objects to add to your living space or to your workspace or something like that. It makes more sense to have all of these objects be digitized in the same way that obviously we don't use paperback books anymore. We read using our e-readers because it makes more sense to save space and have things very contained and digitized. So we are going to hack into New Age e-commerce websites to connect with these objects that we desire to connect with through the internet. You might think this sounds a little weird because there's no physical contact with the actual objects, but just think about it. Wi-Fi and the internet are all around us. We are literally permeated by Wi-Fi signals all the time. So this is actually the best and closest way to connect with metaphysical objects because these things are totally all around us. So if you are able to call into focus the specific thing that you want to commune with and use hacking as a spiritual tool, it is the best and easiest way to get there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So all you're going to need is a computer and an internet connection, obviously, and you will also need just a super basic started. The first step is you need to make a VPN network on your computer. So what you're going to want to do is go into System Preferences and open the Networks tab, and there you want to create a new network using the plus button and then choose VPN as the type. I recommend doing an L2TP sort of VPN connection because it does give you that extra security, which you're going to want while you're doing an activity like this. And then add in your username and password. And now for the user address, you're going to want to go to the website that you're wanting to hack. I'm going to choose Amazon.com because, first of all, I don't think they're going to miss my business, and also I have no problem with hacking into their site. So go onto Amazon and look for what you want to look for. I recommend starting really simple. So try a single gem or stone that you have maybe had experience with in person before. Don't go right away for a really complex blend of essential oils because you're not going to know what's happening. This is a very subtle practice that requires a little bit of exercise, just like hacking itself does. And so I'm going to start with a piece of citrine calcite. So I'm just going to type that in. Pick any one that you want. Citrine calcite is really good for happiness and energy and healing, which I think anyone could make good use of, so it seems like a great place to start. And this way, with something simple like this, you can really see how the connection works before you build up to the higher level materials. Okay, so we're going to copy the URL of this, and then we're going to go to a new page which is called checkhost.net. And this site is going to allow us to find out the location and IP address of this particular site, which we need for establishing the connection, obviously. So So copy that IP address and then go back to your network settings and set it up in there. And now what we want to do is go into the reviews section on the Amazon site for your product page. And we are just going to set up basically a cookie to make this connection a little bit more obvious between our computer and the product page. So leave a review that is just what will be this invisible script to make sure that it works. Post your review, and then you're going to want to go onto your personal website and post this code to collect the data from the cookie. You want to leave all of the information from the product page, and then post that. And then you're going to need to set up a you'll set up a new post to catch the cookies from the website. So any web data that's going on the product page, which is going to be a direct correspondence to the actual product itself, is going to go through your website onto your personal computer. And this is going to make the connection so great. And if you have any kind of wearable technology or subdermal implants, it's really it enhances the effect in such a cool way because you actually feel this connection. But it doesn't matter if you don't have those things, because we can also turn this into sound or light and things like that, which is another great way to connect. So okay, let's update our comment in the review to have something a little more invasive. So this doesn't go noticed, you're probably going to want to type in something that sounds like a real review. And then you're going to want to pop in the code to allow the cookies to work. Okay, now you need to go onto your computer and into the online file manager and set up a new folder for, I'll call it citrine, and this is where the data is going to go. I really don't recommend saving any of these settings because hacking is the most important part of this communication. So you're going to want to set it up each time that you do this. You don't want to reuse any of the settings because the connection will not be as deep on a mental level. So we're set to collect the cookies, and now you can just script any kind of code for, I'm just going to open processing and script this kind of code to have it work with my wearable. If you wanted to have it work with a subdermal implant, it would look much the same. You might just want to change a couple of things. And if you don't have anything like that, you can send the code out to an Arduino and to have that control different lighting or some kind of light buzzing or vibration that you can feel. Your code will look about like this. You want to make sure that anytime it's receiving any HTTPS packets from the website, that they are going to your output source. And this is going to make such a pure and strong connection between you and the object. And really, any of this sort of vibrations or sounds or lights are kind of just training wheels to get you used to feeling what the connection feels like. Eventually, once you have reached a higher level of metaphysical practice through hacking, you'll be able to remove these training wheels and just feel the connection through the Wi-Fi as you become more aware of its